What's going on? Sam Cologne here, aka The Messenger, and welcome to today's show. And this is the producer's edition. I know you guys love it when B come on here and we chop it up because he has the best questions, you know? And he's, like I say before, and many times, he's a reflection of the collective. And he comes here with an open mind, an open heart to share, and it's a beautiful thing all the time. And today's topic is the elements. Yeah. You know, and you were on that ride with me when we did that 40-day reset with the elements. And also we've talked about it a little bit after here and there, you know. And so, yeah, let's talk about it. That's what we're going to talk about today. So if you haven't watched the last show, watch it. We talked about the elements, but this show we're going to go more in depth on the 40 days and also what you've gotten out of it during that process. Yep.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I say, well, again, welcome, everybody. It's always a vibe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's funny, when I sent you the text, like, we should do an intro video for the channel.
Yeah.
I had the 40 days in mind at some of the
clips.
Yeah, because I'm like, yo, how dope is it that at some point we'll be able to, like, pepper that into these, like, different conversations or whatever. And you like, nah, the 40 today is the elements. And I'm like, that's exactly why I sent that. Because I'm like, that was a fire. For me, it was an experience. It solidified the relationship that you and I have. As somebody who, at the time, I was, it's going to sound crazy, but I had basically broke up with my two best friends of like 20 years. I was in a space where trusting people just really wasn't, not that it wasn't a thing, but I was in that space of like reintroducing what trust actually means to me as a grown man. We talking about, at the time I was 39, 30, something like that, about to be 40. And I'm having these things happen. And then I have this guy who's like, yo, this is what I was thinking about. And I'm thinking about doing boop, 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 boop. And I was like, yo, that shit sounds fire and intriguing. And like, what made you do that? And like, how long do you think you're going to last through the process? And what do you actually think you're going to get out of the process? Like, all of these questions of like, I've never heard of this. And in this place where I have this wide open space to like allow something new in, what I allowed new in was the journey of the 40 days. Like, I'm like, all right, the first meeting at Gabe crib, it's like, nah, he not talking. Like, this guy really lived it, tried and true, battle tested. Like, I got the chinks in my armor to prove it. And I thought that was just special that you would like share that. Like, trust me with that space. Nah, I'm doing something I ain't never did before, but I think that this is important. And that just was like, yo, all right, cool.
Yeah.
And the experience along the way, like observationally and personally, is unmatched.
Yeah.
Come on. Going to Dr. High Hands, like, that was fire. Watching the cupping, that was fire. Taking the pictures during the session and having that glow that was around, it was fire.
Yeah.
And it's something that, like, if I didn't see it myself, experience myself, I would be like, motherfucking capping.
Yeah.
No, it's something to be said.
Yeah.
Especially when you have the spiritual speak and the biological backup. It's like, it sound hoodoo until you look at what happened to your body.
Oh, shit. You know, shit, that's crazy. I forgot to even mention that in the previous video. Yeah. Because I forgot that I did blood work. Yeah. So that's another thing. Yeah, that's interesting. See, there's a lot of stuff with this that I didn't share in the last video, but it's going to come out now because, again, he's actually bringing up the right information, right? And so I did blood work previous to starting the 40-day journey, just to see what all my markers are. My inflammatory markers, my stem cells, my growth hormones, all the cholesterol, all the stuff, all the different minerals in the body. Literally, I I think I got a picture and a recording of how many vials. I think it was like 15 vials of blood taken out. So all the different things that I was getting blood work for. And what happened afterwards, the results that came up was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like we had like the inflammatory markers dropped down like 32%. Like,
32%?
yeah. Like
You never
my growth hormones shot up. Like I think it was like a 0.2%. But the way the doctor explained to me was like that's a lot. Usually just it going up 1/10 is a lot. Like the fact that you have 1.2, that's like astronomical, right? And so like the doctor that helped me out with this was a doctor who was like a leading researcher for like stem cells, and he was out in the Cayman Islands and everything when the whole stem cell research started actually happening here in the States, where they didn't allow doctors to do that shit. So he went to the Caymans. And so like he does most of my work is with him is virtual. But I wanted somebody that specialized in these things so that I can get their feedback. And I gave him very little information because I'm a skeptic myself. Like a lot of people think because I do these things that I believe it all. No, I'm not. I fucking test and try everything. I don't take anybody's word for shit. That was a old manager of mine that some shit had happened and at work. And I said, dude, but he told me blah, blah. He said, Sam, you know what? Trust but verify, right? And so, like, that's how I live my life. I trust but verify. Myself, not nobody else, myself. Like, when something comes to me and I want to try, okay, let me do some blood work. I'm a data guy too, you know? So I did blood work so that I can get that reflection back. And when I saw that, literally, I think I dropped 5 years in my biological age versus my actual chronological age. Like it was insane. Like the numbers were insane. My stem cells, the mu cells that were developed during this fasting period was through the roof. Like so it was awesome. So thank you for bringing that up. But what I wanted to ask was, I know that you like gave like a quick recap of everything, right? Like that, this and that and this and that, but I want to go more in like step by step, right? So like when I first called you, Gabe introduced us. I gave you the call. Like, what were you thinking at that point in time? Like, while we're having a conversation?
I was thinking that it was a breath of fresh air. Like, it didn't sound like you were bullshitting about what you were attempting. It didn't sound like you had anything to necessarily prove, even though the proof was like, no, I'm proving that all of this shit that's in the world that's saying that we are who we are, it's not really that. But more than that. You know what I mean? Like the gravity of it wasn't like, this is an important mission, but I knew that it was something that was worth experiencing. It was worth going down the rabbit hole. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was like meeting you at Gabe's house for the first time. Like the energy was just, it just was what it was. It's like, nah, this feels like home. And again, when you invited me to like, nah, I think I really want to work with you to like put this together, it was just like open canvas. Like I really didn't have an expectation because you saying a bunch of shit I never heard before. That I'm like, I've had my own experiences. However, what you're saying isn't like normal, everyday people experience this thing. Normal, everyday people get to do this. It's like when I did the video for his other homeboy, Phil. He did 100-mile.
Oh, yeah. Phil, when he did the 100-mile run. Yeah.
That's insane to me. So it's like I have this guy who I met through another guy that I met, and everybody is reaching for these things that are like, nah, bro, the status quo is broken. And I intend to set the record straight. Point blank, period.
Nice. I can see how that was opening for you. Yeah, it's like, wait a minute. Here I am. I created this space. I'm moving and gravitating to something different. And now I got this guy that I was doing, recordings for. his, his brand and his podcast and all this stuff and his course. Then we got this other guy that just is running a 100-mile marathon, and I'm gonna be the one catching the recording. Now we got this other crazy motherfucker coming here talking about he gonna do 40 days.
No food, no drink, one man. I said, yo, let's go.
Yeah, so like your perception was like poof, wide open and also open. Like, fuck it. Let's see what this is like. But from my perspective, I'm more, I get led. I'm led by spirit. And so when you and I spoke, the moment I heard your voice, I'm like, all right, we're good. But let's see where this goes.
Yeah.
Right? And so like as we start talking and we're bouncing things back and forward and you're sharing and I could feel you and I could feel that sense of curiosity and that creatorness inside of you. I'm like, yeah, like this is it. Like, yeah, perfect person. I trust. I trust when creation and life sends me something that I know that feels right. Like I trust the process, right? And so I'm like, all right, fuck it. I send it to you. I say, you think about it. And you're like, nothing fucking think about. Like, let me just put my thoughts in order. But this is a go. Yeah. That's how we left off the conversation. Right. So I'm like, all right, then it's a fucking go.
Sounded dope. And when you say the creator, it's funny. I just watched that movie, Denzel's son.
Okay.
A movie called The Creator.
Yeah.
It's on Paramount, one of them. And basically, AI has created like the ultimate AI. Like they went from like just being robots to like really looking like humans. Like if I look at you straight on, you look like a human. Then when you turn to the side, you got like all these mechanisms. In the back.
Okay. I think I might have saw a clip of that.
So I'm looking at the way it's written, and I immediately think about my middle name. One of my middle names, Al Fatir. It means the creator. So it's like to be in the energy with somebody who is creating their own path, or there's something that they're attempting to like do or wield, or I have no problem with adding my energy to that because I believe in it. It's like I ain't even see no proof. I heard what you said again, like how you said you heard me. I listened to you, but I wasn't hearing you. I was like hearing you. If that makes sense. And I'm like, nah, dog. It feel like Indiana Jones or something.
Yeah.
We about to discover a whole bunch of stuff. And I don't really know where it's going to end up, but I know that this journey is worth taking.
Yeah.
Do you accept the call?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
What you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was dope. And then we had our first session, like official recording, right? Was at Gabe's house when we were talking about it and Gabe was asking me questions.
Yeah.
Right now. So how was that for you?
I got to see it in person. I got to experience somebody who I hold to a high regard, asking you questions that it wasn't pre-planned. It wasn't like, hey, man, on camera, ask me these questions. It was like, nah, come with whatever you, all this. And he's one of them, too.
Yeah.
He's cynical, but he's logical.
And he's very inquisitive.
Very inquisitive.
Like, he asks questions from every fucking angle.
Facts.
Yeah, and when we sat down, it wasn't like, again, it wasn't like prepared. Yeah. And it's the same thing when we do the shows. Like, none of these shows are like, oh, this is today's topic. Nah. Like, I come in, we set up, I go the restroom, there's this creepy chair that everybody's afraid of, but I love the fucking chair because it props me up and gives me good posture. Yeah. I go in there and I tune in, boom, and whatever comes through, that's what comes through. Now, that's the same thing that happened this day when we were going to do the first interview. Yeah. And we went to Gabe's house, and Gabe is very, very also logical, right? And he wanted me to provide him with questions. Right, but I told him, I'm like, no, I'm not going to give you any questions. You are going to go based upon your curiosity, because he knew what I was about to do. And he was one of them that told me, Sam, after 3 days, you should be drinking water, bro. You're going to dehydrate. Yeah. By 7 days, you fucking run and die from dehydration, right? Yeah. And I said, no, I'm not, Kate. We're good, right? But all these things, the fact that he had that fear behind it also prompt him to ask really good fucking questions.
It's a fact.
Yeah.
It's a fact. The whole process, going the acupuncture, the chiropractor.
Yeah,
The
but before we move on to the other stuff, but that day we did the interview, right? And so I just want to like quick snap the questions. Everything was beautiful, but what was that experience like for you listening in, and what during that interview, if anything, like stood out to you?
So, how knowledgeable you were in terms of what the risk and the reward was for this process. Knowing that you were willing to explore it, even in the face of some of your closest people saying like, hold up, maybe you should reconsider. And having so much of a conviction to what the outcome could be, it was like, nah, I never heard shit about telomere caps and none of the shit you was saying that day, just to be like, nah, like it made me get more inquisitive of what is this really? We're electromagnetic beings. We have the ability to dream and see things. We have the ability to do a lot that we're not even aware of. So it's like you saying like, nah, this journey is about to be filled with discovery. It's like, nah, people need to see this. People need to see that what we're being taught is bullshit, for lack of a better word. So sitting there, hearing his questions, me asking you my questions, you answering the questions, and dropping like knowledge after knowledge after knowledge. Well, according to the research of such and such and such and such, and if you look at such and such and such and such, this was the conclusion that your body could actually do this. Your body is actually able to push past these limits that man has put on us. Even with running a 4-minute mile or whatever it was.
Yep.
It's like, nah, they say your heart is going to bust once you get to a certain point. But you like, if somebody was able to prove that wrong, I think I'm up for the challenge to prove all of this naysay and bullshit wrong. So that first day was like conviction. That's what I got from it. I got a guy who's like, I don't know him from shit, but I feel like we family. Who's willing to be like, nah, through this, like we gonna find out what it really is, and not no hokey dokey bullshit. So that conviction was what kind of like
What drew you deeper into the process. All right,
Sure.
nice. That's good because the thing is like when you in it and you going through it, you don't realize everything that the other person seeing from their perspective, and so like you talking about like the research and everything that I was bringing and noting, like that the research. Yeah, I did it, but it wasn't like I went there with a notebook according to the bam bam bam. It was there because I did do the research.
facts.
Because I'm logical as well.
Facts.
Right? I'm not just like, oh, like this. There's a lot of people out there that get caught up. And I'm not saying that you have to do it this way.
Yeah.
However, we have been programmed a certain way for a very long fucking time.
Yeah.
Right? And so, like, there's parts of the brain that need satisfaction. I have that.
Yeah.
I need to satisfy my brain. Like, I can get a download and I know it to be true in the depths of my soul. But this little sucker right here, it's like, nah, dog.
Still
Like,
need to-
yeah, I still, nah, this ain't it. But once I see it and I can connect the dots, my brain now feels satisfied. It has really been a good tool for me because if not, I probably would have been in deep psychosis like a crazy motherfucker if I didn't have the information to like,
Loco en la cabeza.
yeah, to like connect those dots. And so, yeah, there was a lot of research that went behind this.
Yeah.
A lot. Now that you're talking, I'm like, yeah,
Because it wasn't, like I said, the questions wasn't planned. So
yeah,
you had passion behind your words, but it was never like a break in the step of what you were delivering. The information that you wanted to get across, the heart behind it. Like it was no skipping of no beat. It was like my man spitting. Like if they would have threw on a beat, it'd have been a perfect freestyle.
Yeah.
It was like, and then all of the other stuff that was happening in the room, he asking you a question, you giving him an answer, and the lights flicker, or the thing over here make a noise, or the room do a. It's like, bruh, it's no way you can't tell me that what's being shared in this moment isn't special and rare and unique and worth it. Like, it's just worth it. Like,
Yeah.
hit the lights, guys. It was just fire.
Yeah.
You was in your element.
Spirits, like, hit the lights.
Word up. Like,
Yeah.
you want proof? All right. Here's some proof. Here's some seed money for the investment of this 40 days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's interesting, right? Because you got the element to satisfy you on an information level to be like, okay, this guy's not just like trying to do it. No, he's done some fucking research. He's gotten himself in a position like, okay, like I'm gonna do this, and here are the pros and here are the cons, and I understand that, but I'm still gonna do this.
Fact.
But then you also had the other element, is what you're saying of, like the weird shit that was happening in the room. Right, that also opens up your perception and your understanding to a new reality, right? Because I'm one of those people. And you know, it may sound cynical, but I'm a see it, believe it guy, right?
Missouri.
Huh? You know what I'm saying?
Me.
But there's some things that like I experience it
Yeah.
within myself, and I know it to be true. But that sense of confirmation is what seals the deal for me, right? So I'm thinking in this experience, you know, seeing the lights flicker, see the shit happening, see the energy surge, switching the reality and shifting reality while you're there, like you experiencing that. Like, what was that like?
It was, again, confirmation. It was like, I didn't have a doubt. And this was even more of a like, see?
Yeah.
What you felt, this is proof. Like, this is, if you ready for this, you gonna see it. You gonna feel it, you gonna experience it. I ain't even talking about the pills you gave me the first day. Nothing crazy. It was your herbs and, bro, them pills had me on 10.
Yeah.
Like 10, you was like, yeah, your energy low, well, I got something for you.
Yeah.
Like, the next time we link up, I got something for you.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I done seen the lights flicker. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what this is. And it wasn't no psychoactive nothing. It was just like all of the good stuff that your body really needs.
It needs it, yeah.
And it's like, this man is telling me that your body needs X, Y, Z. Your body needs a break. Your body needs all of these things so that it can be in tune with your spirit. And my man gave me a bag of pills. And I'm like, I trust it. I trust it because this guy has done the research and he's a living testament of I ain't gonna do nothing. I'm not gonna ask you to do nothing that I'm not willing to do myself. So it's like, if I'm willing to go through this, it's like, not saying me, but saying you. It's like, if he's willing to go through this process, it's like, I have to, same place, I have to experience it at least for the confirmation.
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Just to see.
Just to
like
see.
I hear the information. He's telling me everything that's in there. Let me try it. Let me see.
Word is born.
Now, when you took that pill, what happened?
I had some of the best sleep I had. I had a ton of clarity. Like, I had a fog. It gave me some clarity. It gave me like the feeling of like drinking coffee without drinking coffee. Like, I had a sustained level of energy that was noticeable when I didn't take it. Like, when I took them, I'm like, especially when it was consistent, and then if I fell off for a day or 2 days, I would immediately attribute my fogginess to not taking my pill.
Taking them. Yeah, that's
So it's
interesting.
like, you like, nah, the body is deficient in this, and this.
Yeah.
On a daily basis, we eat a bunch of garbage, and there's nothing being poured back in. And I'm like, all right.
Yeah. So yeah, I handcrafted those myself. I got the herbs, I dried them out, I crushed them. My kids helped me put them together, did my little energy work on them. And I basically on them, those pills were honoring the elements within the body.
Yeah.
So we had spirulina for the water, or like for the water element. We had mineral salt in there. We had hudea for all the minerals that the body need, like 100 and something minerals in hudea. Yeah. So there was a lot of things in there that we don't give the body on a day-to-day. Yeah. So just taking 2 of those pills twice a day, like through the roof, you'll be like lit. Oof. Just if you take one, honestly, your body will feel the difference. But I'll do 2 in the morning and then 2 with lunch.
Maniac.
Literally, you can feel yourself buzzing. But you're giving your body everything it needs. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, you give your body everything it needs, it's going to do things that you're like, what the fuck? Yeah. So by design, facts. You are fed certain things, you're giving certain things in the atmosphere. Yeah. You got all the static of the electricity with the Wi-Fi and all these things suppress your abilities. Yeah. But when you have that understanding, then you could do things because these things are not going to go away. They're a part of evolution. Now, but if you have an understanding of your abilities and how you operate, then you can evolve with it instead of it suppressing you, right? Facts. So, but you don't understand because that's not what you're taught. Yeah. So if you have that understanding, then you be like, hold on, wait a minute. Let me go ground real quick. Yeah. I could feel my energy a little off. Let me go ground. Oh, wait a minute. I'm feeling a little tired. Let me go get some Celtic salt with some water. Let me stir this up. Let me drink this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, wait a minute. I'm feeling a little cloggy, man. Let me do some nasal breathing real quick. Like little things that would allow you to adjust what is happening, right? Because to me, like, you can't, let's say this room, we want to do this room, redo this room. In order for us to redo this room, it got to be in a little bit of chaos first, right? Yeah. We got to take all this shit out. We got to put everything in disarray, whatever, blah, blah. Put it back together the way we want it. Yeah. It's the same thing with everything. Fact. Right? The shit going to be a little disarray. So as we evolve as humans and we go through this process, then there's going to be some chaos in there. But if you have an understanding that this is a part of the process and you know the tools on how to adjust so that you can evolve and ride that wave, then that's a different story. Yeah. But if you don't have that understanding and nobody's trying to give you that fucking understanding, you're just going to get crashed by the wave every fucking time. That's a fact. And every time you're like, you're literally going through life, getting up, next wave, and just crashing, and you have no idea why is this. Because we as a whole are going through elevation, right? An ascension process. From the earth to the people, to the plants, to the universe, to the everything. It's all happening, right? Now, if we have this understanding, now we can roll with the punches, right? Now we can take the certain things and do the things. Okay, let me go ground. Let me have a little mineral salt. Let me do this. Let me drink this. Let me fast for a couple days. Let me do it. And now you're a part of the process versus being a victim to the process. Thanks. Then if you don't know what the fuck is going on and something's going on and you know something's going on because you feel it, nobody can tell you that shit ain't going on because you wake up, you feel tight in your chest, you've got knots in your stomach, you have a headache, your body's aching, like all these things are happening. Yeah. So nobody can take away from you that something's happening. Yeah. You know. And most people when you talk to, they'll tell you like, I feel something's going on, but I don't know what the fuck. Maybe it's the bills, maybe it's this, but they don't know what's going on, but they know something's going on. Some people can't even sleep at night. And they know something's going on, but they don't try to discover it, right? But who wants to discover? Who wants to go out on discovery, trying to figure out what's going on if they don't have any hope? True. Like,
and finding out that is actually some work associated with it.
That's with people, that used to be one of my beliefs. Yeah. Right. I used to say people don't want to do the work. Yeah. That's why they give their responsibility to everybody else. But I had a realization that people been lulled to sleep on purpose. Yeah. Right? So the people that are being the ones taking responsibility for the people, if that makes sense? Yeah. They put the people in that position, right? And this is why it's important for us to have videos like this and to share. Like on one of the videos I had, one of the recent videos I said, before you didn't know, so it was okay.
That's a fact. Yeah.
But now you know.
It's not okay now.
So I don't want to hear shit. You know better, you do better. Yeah. I did my part. Now, whatever the fuck you want to do with it, that's on you.
Yeah.
Right? And so when we have that realization, because having the realization that everything's a reflection of one, right? Because I've thought that way. When people, when they want to do, because when they realize there's work involved, now I got to take responsibility for myself, right?
Yeah.
So I've had that. But looking at everything as a reflection of me, that's not the case. Now, me putting myself in their shoes, I realized that I was lulled to sleep into lies, right? And being in those lies, somebody got to give me a little breadcrumb. And when somebody or that being gives me that little breadcrumb and gives me some sense of like, oh, let me try this out. Now, that's on that person. That's it. It's done. Here you go. The breadcrumb is there. You can eat it. You could try it out. Or you could throw it away and stay wherever the fuck you at right now.
Yeah.
On, live whatever life you're living. Not saying something's right, not saying something's wrong, but just having that realization by us sharing is enough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't think it's the work involved. I think it's more about, what do I do? What do I do? Because if you're in a situation where everything is being, okay, this is a system, this is the court system, this is the money, this is the schooling, this is that. Like the system of your being is there.
Yeah.
Now I'm telling you, there's another way. But you don't see that other way. You don't have hope after that. Okay, I could rip this band and go over there, but what's over here for me?
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? I'll stay in this bullshit. If I'm gonna go over there and take my family through to go do that, when you can't even tell me what this is.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So like a sense of hope, right? And to me, trusting the unknown there's power in that, right? There's this sense of trust that evolves and elevates you for like to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
But okay, let me just sum this up. I don't think it's the work necessary that people are afraid of. I think it's the unknown that they're afraid of. And as brothers and sisters, we can't give them the complete picture on the other side because they are the ones co-creating it. But if we can give them a glimpse of our picture, it gives them a sense of hope. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Yeah. Make sense?
Fruit on the tree.
Yeah.
It's like you judging somebody by the fruit of their tree, but you don't know the labor that went into making that. Also, you don't have nothing on your own. So it's easy to be like, to get amnesia when you get to a place where you like, yeah, I remember when I used to do that. That was stupid. Why you being so stupid? As opposed to being like, nah, I remember when that was me. But of course, it's easier for me to see it through your journey because you're a living testament that what I'm saying works. You have your own version of this, but what I'm saying works.
Yeah. Just give them a glimpse.
Yeah.
Once you give them the glimpse, whatever masterpiece they create on their canvas,
Yeah.
that's on them. But at least they get to see, like, there's a possibility of me creating a new masterpiece. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to leave you guys with that, right? All right, beautiful people. We're sending you so much love, so much peace. And on to next time. Peace.